Let's set a very Christmassy scene with Criterion as we dive into part two of the holiday gift giving guide. And hopefully, we'll find something here for you and your loved ones. To the Criterion gift giving guide. Criterion is probably one of the best known companies when it comes to physical media releases. They're the company that actually created the commentary track, which is pretty amazing, and they're known for having a film school in a box. Criterion are known for releasing what is quote unquote the important films. And if you're a film lover and a film school person, you're probably going to be looking at this company, and you probably have been for years. If you have a loved one or a friend that's going to film school or wants to go to film school or wants to make their own films, there's a lot of really great stuff here from Criterion. You can dive right here with the most wished for in 2022. You can see some amazing releases here, like the fantastic noir film Double Indemnity with Fred McMurray and Barbara Stanwyck. I would 110% recommend this film. It is a great one if you're a noir fan or you have a noir lover in your life and they don't have this film or don't have this edition of the film. It is a really great choice. For the kids, we have Wally. Yes, we got something for the kids here in Criterion. And get your kid their first Criterion. I'm not lying. Like if you've got a younger child that you may think may be a movie lover, or they're already started to become like a movie lover, and you see they're starting to watch and really analyze things. Criterion is a really good company to look at when it comes to this type of stuff. And Wally is a great choice as a start. It's a wonderful Pixar film, and Criterion did an amazing release of this. And I think that this here is, I want to make sure though, before I say it, but yes, it is a 4K release, and 4K is where people are going right now. Another recommendation I can give is if you haven't yet really gone all the way, 4K is becoming the norm now for movie collecting. And again, there's always going to be people collecting DVDs and Blu-rays, but there's still people collecting VHS and CDs and Laserdisc as well. And I was one of those people. I still would be if I actually had the ability to do so where I live. But there's also the option of at this time of year, especially, or Boxing Day, to get a less expensive, like Boxing Day is the day after Christmas, actually, for Canada, and the UK as well. A 4K TV set. Now, most people have already gotten the 4K TV sets. They've already upgraded, like because the next TV you got more than like was a 4K set because they were extremely cheap. They got extremely cheap to get, but maybe you don't exactly have a 4K player yet. And as we looked at in part one, there is the PS5 and there is the Series X, but there's also going towards getting an actual 4K player. And if you want to do that, one of the great places to get a player at is right here. We'll get back to Criterion in a second, but I think this is important to look at when you're looking at stuff to get. It's 220 Electronics. What's really great about them is they don't just do 4K players, but they do region-free players. So if you have a movie lover that wants to collect from like other places of the world as well, you can get them a region-free Blu-ray player, or if you want to go to the 4K one, which I definitely do recommend, is get them a region-free 4K player. And they can be a little bit pricey. You may want to start them off the region-free Blu-ray player first and get them a 4K player, because 4Ks normally are region unlock anyway. But and you want to make sure when you're looking at this. So this is the cheap one here, is $299. The Sony UBP X700 region-free player. It's actually a really nice player. What's really cool about this one is it's easily updated if you have to do any kind of firmware updates online. It's basically just a code that you use to actually get it to go to a different region, and it plays all regions from around the world. It also has Dolby Atmos, Dolby Vision, and HDR10, so it's compatible with all of those. And that's what you want when you're looking into a 4K player. This is kind of one of my top recommendations when it comes to a 4K player. It doesn't exactly break the bank at $299, but it's a really nice player, and you should be able to have it for quite a while. Just make sure when you get a 4K player, get the right HDMI cable. Get the one that has like kind of a faster speed to it. Because if you don't, then you're gonna not be able to get like the full 4K experience out of there. But let's get back to Criterion right now. I just thought it was a nice thing to recommend there as well. There's a whole ton of stuff. A lot of people start off with Wes Anderson because he's very accessible when it comes to this stuff. Or if you're a Lynch fan, there's some great Lynch titles, some French New Wave. There's classic Hollywood stuff. But let's dive into the box sets because I think that's where they do a lot of their great stuff at. And I'm going to mention the Martin Scorsese World Cinema Project. They're at the fourth set right now. There there's been obviously three previous to this, and this is a really good set. Not enough people have pulled the trigger on these, but I definitely recommend checking that out. You get to see cinema from around the world, the way different takes are on film, the way things are done differently. It's just a lot of really great stuff. They put out the Inferno's Affair trilogy. I actually have an old edition of this one. I don't know if I really need to upgrade this one yet. I really need to decide if these are ones that I want to upgrade. But I definitely want to upgrade when it comes to Once Upon a Time in China. Actually, I don't think I've got this. It wouldn't be an upgrade, it'd be a new one. The Melvin Van Peebles Essentials film set is a really good set to get, and with some fantastic stuff in here. Like maybe you previously got the Sweet Sweetback's Badass Song release, but there's so much more than that in this one right here. We had the Story of a 3-Day Pass, Watermelon Man, Don't Play As Cheap, and a ton of like really great features on here as well. It's a fantastic set, and know, definitely an influential director. The World of Wong Kar-wai is another incredible set. The Essential Fellini set. If you've got a Godzilla fan, we got the Godzilla Showa era collection, the complete works of Agnes Varda, Bruce Lee, if you want to get that, or the Jackie Chan Police Story set. But my highest recommendation on here right now, if you're a fan of the films, if you're not a fan of the films, it's not going to matter, is Ingmar Bergman's Cinema Collector set. This is one of the biggest and most impressive sets that I have in my collection. It comes not just with the films, but it curates the films like it was a basic, like you were going to see a Ingmar Bergman Film Festival, and you get a full giant size coffee table book on Ingmar Bergman and Ingmar Bergman cinema included with this set. Trust me when I say this is going to be one of the most beautiful looking sets that you're ever going to see in anybody's collection. So why not put it in yours or in a friend of yours? We do go on sale sometimes. Right now it's on sale for $209. I think I got mine at Bay Street Video for around 125, 150. They had it on sale. Always check your local like video stores if you have any nearby, any places that sell physical media. Try to support them, whether you're in Canada with the Sunrise Records, you're up in Ontario with a Cinema One or Bay Street Video. Bay Street Video is really nice, by the way. I always try to like give support to those because they keep the physical media going in your area. And once they're gone, a lot of those don't come back, especially when so many places now are dropping physical media and just letting people get stuff online. But yeah, definitely strong recommendation on Ingmar Bergman Cinema Collection. Let's do something a little bit different and let's look at fright rags. So maybe you just don't want to talk about like watch your movies. Maybe you want to wear something on your chest, or just wear something kind of cool, or maybe even play a board game. Because right now, Fright Rags has a Silent Night, Deadly Night board game. I know very little anything about this game, but it looks like kind of just a fun, cheesy, easygoing little game. If you're a fan of Silent Night, Deadly Night, you're probably going to love the hell out of this. Now, Fright Rags puts out a ton of stuff. They have these Halloween 3 Season of the Witch lunch pants here, lounge pants here. We got the Munsters, original Munsters series lunch pants and lounge pants. I love these lounge pants. But look, there's a Texas Chainsaw one, and there's all kinds of collections that they do, like T-shirt collections and different things. We got EC Comics, Elvira, House of Corpses. Pick your favorite horror collection, horror film, and even kind of like some stuff like and that one's sold out. Like American Werewolf in London, or even some stuff you wouldn't think of, like Fangoria. I'll be here. We got the Fangoria logo shirt here. Um, so many nice collections out there. I wonder if they have any of the EC ones still available. There you can get the EC Comics socks, which is pretty awesome. I'd love to have these actually. Oh, I would kill for these shirts. Tales from the Crypt, the Hound of Fear, and the Vault of Horror. They have incredible shirts, and they used to have. I'm not sure if they have it now, but every once in a while they'll have this. Fred Riggs have this this mystery bag, which you can order during sales. It'll be like a black bag. You won't know which T-shirt that you're going to get. It could be you just choose your size, but it's super intriguing when you get it. It's been a while since I looked into this site, so I do apologize. We have a Silent Dead Night pop-up Christmas card here. Um, just so many different options. There's House of the Devil. They got a Ty West collection here. I love this House of the Devil Don't Go In shirt. Looks really, really nice. You can see they got some hats here as well. I wear a lot of hats in my videos, so I would definitely be something I would be able to avail of. Love the look of this RoboCop OCP shirt. Almost reminds me of a Canon style shirt. I Again, I love the socks as well. Especially these here. These Creepshow socks are really, really nice. And the EC Comic ones are still my favorite. I didn't know the EC Comic like things were available like that, but and often what they do is they'll put together like packages when something new is coming out. You'll be able to buy like the box with the whole like complete set. So just keep an eye on stuff like that. Let's look at the Ty West collection because that's kind of one of the newer ones. See if they have anything uniquely different there. So if you're a Ty West fan, we got the Innkeepers, House the Devil put here. Other stuff like we got books. Do we have books? We got action figures. Let's check out see if there's any action figures available. The Laurie Strode, Linda, and totally Malcolm Mars action figure. We got a Darcy the mail girl, which is really cool, and a Joe Bob Briggs action figure as well. And actually, for $20, it's not too bad to put on your just add onto your shelf alongside your films. Uh, Darcy was in the recent In Search of Darkness 3. And if you really want like something kind of cool, if you've got an 80s horror fan out there, the In Search of Darkness 3 uh, Blu-ray that's coming out is 100% a recommendation for any fan of 80s horror because it's really, really good. And I've watched it so many times at this point. Let's dive into the other part of the world and let's look at omnibus and collected editions as well. So if you're a comic person, this is the part of the video that you've probably been waiting for. And let's look at some stuff here. We're going to Amazon.com. Here's three really great runs of a series. So Black Panther by Christopher Priest is considered one of the definitive runs of the character. If you're looking for a run to start reading Black Panther with, this is the one. If you have got the Amazing Spider-Man and you wanted to see more of a using like different characters and more maybe a slightly more character-driven one, Peter Parker, the Spectacular Spider-Man Omnibus Volume 1 is an excellent start to the collection. If you got the Roger Stern one, it pretty much goes up to I think to where Roger Stern's Spectacular Spider-Man is at. So this would basically tie right into the Roger Stern omnibus that you may already have. Flash by Mark Waid is my definitive run on Flash. I do think that it's the best run on Flash, period, and that does include Jeff Johns. I'm non-apologetic with that. Mark Waid, or as Mad Dog with comics would say, Mark F. and Waid, does a great job with the Flash, and this is the Wily West era. The first volume here will have the return of Barry Allen storyline, which is just one of those mind-blowing, incredible storylines. I definitely recommend that. If you have a fan of the Miles Morales Spider-Man, and who isn't nowadays, especially with the newer movies coming out, then Miles Morales Spider-Man Omnibus Volume 1 is a really great start when it comes to that. If you've got like a Venom or Spider-Man fan, King in Black is really good, but I would actually recommend getting the Venomnibus by Cates and Stegman over the King in Black one. This is a good one for overall looking at the this storyline. But in the Venom Omnibus, you would get the King of Black storyline, you get the Absolute Carnage storyline, and the whole Venom run that Cates and Stegman did. This one just gives you more of the tie-ins. Not all the tie-ins are always going to be superior. Strong recommendation on things like Miracle Man. That's a really great book, and Animal Man, two man books right there. They are great reads and something that I can definitely recommend 100%. Along with that, I recently got for Christmas this year is Star Wars by Jason Aaron. If you're a Star Wars fan, I'm going to tell you right now, it definitely belongs in your collection. It's something you're going to need to read. It is a great run, and I've gotten through over half of it in like 2 days. But not everything is an omnibus. We have library editions and other things to check out and absolutes to check out as well. So if you have somebody that is like a really big fan of art and comics and that, then DC has their absolute editions. Absolute editions are bigger than omnibuses. They're usually like taller. They come in like slip cases. They have like little um they'll have like I get the word out in a second. Kind of like little ribbons in there for saving your place, and they're just amazingly beautiful editions. This Absolute Swamp Thing by Len Wein and Brittany Wrightson is getting a extremely high nod from me. If you're a horror fan or a Swamp Thing fan, the Absolute Swamp Thing by Len Wein and Brittany Wrightson is a must-have. Brittany Wrightson is just one of the most incredible comic artists, especially when it comes to horror, and his run on Swamp Thing is incredible. I know it gets overshadowed a lot by Alan Moore's incredibly amazing run on Swamp Thing, but the Len Wein, Brittany Wrightson one is definitely not something to miss out on. And if you love really beautiful artwork, then there's two very different, contrasted ones. But there is the DC: The New Frontier. We're going to get a lot of amazing artwork by Darwin Cook, rest in peace, and for a more realistic and more edgier style, Absolute Kingdom Come get some great artwork by the incredible Alex Ross. Either one of these three would make a comic book fan extremely happy under the Christmas tree. I know that they would for me. And there is Absolute Swamp Things Volume 1, 2, and 3. The entirety of Alan Moore's Swamp Thing run has been collected in three absolutes. And at $60 for the first one, and that's the new printing, so better binding than then that's definitely worth getting. Now, some people are a little bit of elitist, I will say, when it comes to the coloring, because it does have modernized coloring for the new Absolute Swamp Things. I grew up with the original editions, and I don't mind the coloring at all. I actually think the coloring looks good. But if you're really taken out of it by the modern coloring, then there are like regular size trade paperbacks to pick up. If you have a fan of the Sandman, then there's the Absolute Sandman. There's a bunch of volumes of that out there. I think there's five in total, and then we have Absolute Death here as well. If you're a Jack Kirby fan, there's Absolute Fourth World by Jack Kirby. Just incredible stuff. These absolutes are absolutely gorgeous. I didn't try to use a pun, but I guess I did. We also have library editions. And if you've never seen a library edition before, then welcome to this world, because it is gorgeous. Library editions are kind of like absolutes. A lot of times they won't have like the slipcase. Sometimes they do, actually. But you have things here. Didn't mean to hit on that one. Like library edition of Black Hammer, which is a really great one by Jeff Lemire. Definitely recommend this one. This is gorgeous. I mean, it's pricier right now, but the library edition, The Complete Life and Times of Scrooge McDuck Deluxe Edition, that's pretty amazing. The Black Hammer ones, definitely strong recommendations. Look how cheap some of these are now. Some of these here have gone into, like, I guess, soft cover. I know the Harrow counties have gone into soft cover editions. It's harder to find some of the hardcovers for the Harrow County now, but definitely worth looking into some of these library editions. One of the ones that I'm surprised they didn't mention here, that I definitely give a strong recommendation to, is Madman. Madman is a really fun one. It has some great additions. So Michael Allard and Laura Allard, husband and wife team, do a great job with Madman. It's just an incredibly written and drawn story, and it just kind of you get stuck into the visuals and get sucked in. Strong recommendation. All these. This up to volume 4 right now. Well, up to volume 3. Volume 4 comes out in 2023. But get in now and get the first 3 volumes before the 4th volume comes out, and you're stuck too far behind. The other one to look at is the compendiums. And Walking Dead did their series in a series of compendiums, but there's a lot of there. There's a Starman compendium, which definitely a recommendation on that. I haven't written a lot of Outcasts by Kirkman, but I've heard some good stuff about it. These Spawn compendiums are back in stock. These were out of stock for a while. They're up to volume, I think it's volume 3 right now. So there's the if you want to get, I think that's the first compendium. It's the first 50 issues, and then number 2 is goes to 100. It's just like 50 issues at a time. There's an Invincible compendium. So there's just a whole lot of stuff that you can get. And there's one other thing to look at. while we're here. And let's look into the world of board games. Um, there are some amazing board games out there that I can recommend for you guys. Azul is one of them. Mysterium is a fun cooperative board game. There was a time when Monopoly and Clue, or Cluedo if you live in the UK, were pretty much what we got. But here, let's look at some actual board games that are fun and stay fun for longer periods of time. Ticket to Ride is a great board game where you can basically you got your ticket and you have to like make your track across and make your path. Well, the other members are that are playing the game or got their own tickets and they're trying to do theirs and maybe trying to cut you off at the same time. Ticket to Ride's a really great game. Seven Wonders is a lot of fun as well. I would give like a big recommendation to things like Herd Mentality is actually pretty cool, but I have to say I've mentioned it on here before, I think, and if you want a fun game to play with a bunch of people, Trial by Trolley. This is by the guys, those wacky guys that did Cyanide and Happiness, and it's a lot of fun. Basically, it goes down to this: you have one person that plays the conductor, you have the other people in the game. So it's good to have like 3 to 5 people in this game. It's one of the time when being odd really helps because on each side there's going to be 2 tracks, and I need as you pick up your card on each side of the track, there's going to be different people or there, and you have to convince the conductor to run over the people on the other track as opposed to your track. So it could be anything like, like their grandparents or a bunch of kids or every person under the age of 5. There's all kinds of things and modifiers to when you're playing the game, and it makes it for a lot of fun. It's a pretty quick game. Everybody gets a chance to go around and play the conductor as they get up their death tokens to see who wins. A nice little kind of simple game to play as well that I'm definitely going to give a recommendation to is something that I don't think people would pick up if the just by the title, and I definitely would have if I hadn't heard about it, is Cockroach Poker. What exactly is Cockroach Poker? It's a bluffing game. Basically, all you have to do is kind of just bluff and say you got your card face down, you slide it to someone else, and you say, "There's a grasshopper in this card here. You can take this grasshopper." The person can, they can take it, or they can bluff somebody else and look at the card and say, "Okay, yeah, no, this is not a grasshopper. This is actually a cockroach." It's really fun to check out. There was actually a really good channel called No Rolls Barred that actually do a lot of these games. We watch them all the time, and I definitely recommend checking them out. The Mind is another really fun game which can play with 2 to 4 players. Here's the thing: when you're buying a board game, look at the amount of players, the max players or the lower amount of players. If it says like 5 to 10 players, you're probably going to have 5 to 6 players. If it says like 2 to 4, then it's going to work with 2, but it can work maybe even a bit better with 4. Always look at the how many players are going to be, because it's going to make a difference in what type of game that you want to play. I definitely give a strong recommendation to games like Stella, and Dixit's a really good game, but Stella's really neat because basically with Stella you get like a bunch of cards on the table. You'll have a word pop up, and everybody will have a card where they'll pick the pictures that they think most represent the uh, the word that's been put up, and then you get points based on if you match with other people that have that word. If other people have that word, you're going to get points. If one other person has that word, then you're going to get extra points because it's 2 people. You've made a special connection, and if nobody else has that point, has that picture, well, then it's not so good. Anyway, that has been some um, recommendations here for uh, for Christmas 2022. If there's more stuff that you want to see me talk about, then feel free to ask, or there's questions that you've had throughout this video. I really enjoy making these videos at the end of the year, these gift buying guides, and just have a little bit of fun and see what you're going to get. Is there anything that I've shown you here that maybe you decided that you want to get for yourself, or hint for somebody else to get for you or your better half? Um, as always, like, share, subscribe. If you want help at the channel, you can right there. But I am Aaron. Above all, have a wonderful holiday season. And yes, this is my 80s shirt that kind of looks like I'm going to be the next Alfie Moon on EastEnders. I'll see you soon, guys. And have a wonderful day and enjoy the holidays.